Hey, welcome back to another episode with me, Muddy Soap. And wouldn't you believe it, they gone and dropped another Monster Hunter trailer. This time, Monster Hunter Wilds. Wasn't expecting a trailer. I think no one was, to be honest with you. I thought when it comes to a Monster Hunter trailer, I think everyone was assuming that they would have released something on the anniversary in March, I think is when it is. But no, here we are at the end of the Video Game Awards. They went and dropped this beautiful thing. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about it. We're going to look at all the little details. We're going to do some speculation. So, sit back, relax, and let's get into the video. So, might as well let this play out, actually. So, here's the trailer if you haven't seen it already. But it looks good, man. All the vibrant colors and what have you. Monster Hunter Wilds. Okay. And then he's got his mount. I love the little mount. And then there's Rathalos. Again. Right, so let's get into it. Let's go all the way back. So let's see what we can see at first. Now this is really cool. I can't believe how many monsters there are. I think in previous games we've only ever seen what, 5 or 6 at the most. And it's not just one group of monsters. There's also different mixings. You got these armadillo-looking things, and then you've got these. I can't remember what they're called. But these were in a previous game. If I've got an image, I'll stick it up somewhere. But Costodon, I can't remember what they were called. Anyway, pretty sure these ones were in a previous game. But these ones look so cool. These armadillo ones. I'm assuming the ones without the spikes are female, and then the ones with spikes are male. Of course, you got these giant spikes just dotted around the landscape. We'll get into that a little bit more as we go through the trailer. I'll be pausing like crazy, so bear with me as we talk about it. Look at these guys, look. They've got the, what looks like the endemic life is going to be back as well. Hopefully, you can capture these like you could in, say, World, and they'll have different rarities and different versions, so that would be nice if they have the endemic life back like it was in the previous game. Oh, but look at these bloody spikes. That's massive. They look good. I like these like anteater looking armadillo things. There's these Costodons, Kestrodons, can't remember what they're called. They were in the previous game. Or one of the previous games. I'm pretty sure they were in Rise, right? I think these guys were in the desert region of Rise. They were definitely in World. But you can also see that the play bar's a little bit in the way, but there's these little raptor things that kind of remind me of the raptors from what was it? Jurassic Park. Those little green ones that kill that guy in the river. Yeah, they remind me of those. And then we got a storm coming in. This looks really cool. Here's the raptor. Now, I want to go back and see what's on his pouch. I can pause it on the thing. Here we go. Got some nice boots. But yeah, he's got a little pouch here, and oh, he's got a pickaxe. Is that a pickaxe? Yeah, that's a pickaxe. Okay, so he's got like a little tool belt, like a utility belt. Like, I'm wondering a lot about this mount and what it means to have the mount, because like, he's got all these pouches. He's got a gun, a bow gun in this one, which we'll get into in a minute. But he's being chased by these giant rat bear things. And then just look how many there are. There's so bloody many monsters on screen at once. It's great. Oh, it looks so good. Now I'm wondering what these things, like, are they chasing him deliberately, or are they running away from something? Like, obviously, there's the, we go forward a bit, there's the storm, right? So, I'm wondering, are they running away from the storm? Or are they running away from what's in the storm? Or better yet, are they running away from what's causing the storm? So, there's a bunch of different prospects there, just in the storm alone. Because if you don't know, in Monster Hunter lore, Elder Dragons can actually cause storms just like this. In fact, they can cause world-changing events where just by moving through the landscape, for example, what was it, Kirin? Wherever Kirin is, for example, there's always a lightning storm around him, and there's a lot of lightning in this trailer, so I'm wondering if Kirin might be responsible for all of that. I don't know. But, you know, we'll see. That one there, did you see that? How this one of the bear rat things, he grabs... Oh, he's got like massive fangs as well. Okay. He grabs one of these little armadillo things and just launches it. There you go. It rolls around. And then he goes on all fours. That's really cool. I love the versatility with this raptor thing. So at first he's running on 2 legs. And then he transitions to 4 legs running around like a dog, you know? That's really cool. That's really, really cool. And then there's the lightning that I was talking about. So notice how... I can pause it on the right bit. Here. The lightning looks like it's coming from the ground up, not from the sky down. That's what's making me think it's maybe a monster that's causing the lightning, and it's not natural lightning. Like, you can kind of see it emanates from this sort of rock that you see here. And I think this rock is the rock that you see at the end of the trailer. This thing here. So this bit is... I should have timestamped it. I forgot to look at where we were. There we are. Found it. So this part of the rock, I think, is this bit of this sort of circular rock here. So this is very interesting. Obviously, this rock structure does not look natural, obviously. Like, what kind of structure is rounded like that? But I do like that they're putting this in the game, because this kind of reminds me of, like, you see this kind of stuff in, like, Final Fantasy and things. So that's kind of cool. They've gone and done that sort of thing. But we'll speak about this a lot more later. For now, I want to go back. And yeah, the lightning is just... It kind of reminds me of, like I was saying, like the storms and such can be created by elder dragons just moving through the landscape, and as they do, they change the landscape because many of them bring storms with them. So this could be Kirin, it could be, I don't know, a souped up Zinogre or something like that, I don't know. But yeah, I just think that's really cool and kind of fascinating how it's coming from that circular. If that's what it is, I don't know. Can't really see it, but that could be that circular rock structure that we see. And now we're inside the sandstorm or whatever it was. And then that bit there. Really cool what happens here. The lightning strikes one of these armadillos things. Strikes the spikes on his back. Like that, look at that. And then it becomes infused and it glows like a blue color. So whether that just means monsters, you know, can now become infused with certain elements that they otherwise wouldn't have. So maybe now this armadillo thing that just got struck, he now has, I don't know, maybe he has electrical attacks now because his spike has been infused with the lightning. That could be it. Or it could be if you were to kill this armadillo thing with the spikes on its back, and if it gets infused, maybe when you kill it, you can then mine the spikes to get a certain resource that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to get had it not been struck by lightning. So again, there are some monsters within the Monster Hunter universe that you can actually mine. You can mine certain parts off of them. For example, there was one in Monster Hunter World. What was his name? Oregon? I think his name was. I'll put a picture up on screen so you know who I'm talking about. But that monster, you could, if you knocked him down, you could go to the back of him and mine his back and get certain materials that way. And there's been a bunch of Elder Dragons that you can do that to as well. Zora Magdalos, for example, you can do that with him as well. He had a bunch of mining nodes all over him. But also, I've heard a bunch of other YouTubers state that maybe these spikes just act as sort of like a safe point. Because maybe storms come through here so frequently, the monsters have evolved to have these sort of spikes on their back to protect not just themselves, but the herd as well around them. I think it was Ruicon that said that. Go subscribe to Rui, he's amazing. You haven't subscribed to that guy already, so... But yeah, he had a very interesting idea that that's what that could be, and that's all it is. It just acts as like a lightning conduit to protect either you or the herd if you're next to them. So, really, really cool though how it glows up like that. And then the lightning. I'm sorry about the quality of the video here. This is the official, what was it? The official Capcom one that they uploaded, so blame them. It's their bloody bitrate. So now this bit's interesting to me because I want to get into this. Notice how this is blue. So this is like a blue crystal, and then this sort of rock formation looks different to the rest of the rocks that are all around. Like you can see all these blue crystals on screen here and here. It all, like, it's either crystals or it could be glass. Now bear with me on this, because if you didn't know, when lightning strikes sand in, say, deserts, what can actually happen is the sand can instantly turn to glass, and what you get are these really cool formations that look like this. Okay, let me just check if you've got that. Yep. So you get these really cool glass formations that look like coral reef, but this is actually sand that has been crystallized or turned into glass almost instantly from when lightning strikes down, say, in a desert. And you get these really cool formations, and it looks exactly like coral reef, but it's here. Look, petrified lightning. Fulgurite? I'm not sure how you pronounce that. When the ground turns to glass. So this is what happens when lightning strikes sand. The bolt of hot plasma crystallizes the minerals into petrified lightning, known as fulgurite. Okay, so yeah. So I guess that's the name of it then. This is the actual name of it. But that is so cool how that can actually happen. There's some more images here that I found. So, and if you notice how jagged it all is, though? It looks like coral reef, but it also kind of mimics the structure of lightning. Like, it's all sort of, like, spontaneously going out in every direction, almost like tree roots or a tree branch. And so, I'm wondering, because of all the bloody lightning that's going on in this trailer, I'm wondering if that's what this is. This could just be petrified lightning or sand that has been turned to glass, and that's what the character here is jumping on. This could all just be lightning, and given, like I said, given all the damn lightning going on, that could be what that is, right? So, in my mind, that makes sense. I think there's also another image in here, if I can find it. Bear with me. Here we go. So it's a little bit difficult to see, but there's this structure here, but then there's the actual proper rocks behind it. I don't know if you can actually see that. Yeah. So there's this sort of rock here, but then there's the normal rock. So this, I'm guessing, is the rock that has been petrified, the petrified lightning, and then there's just the normal stones behind it. And we also see, towards the end of the trailer, as he was gliding down, he glides down on what looks like this bit here. This looks like one of those petrified lightning pieces. You see how this arm here juts out and it's all jagged and it goes all in different directions? That looks a hell of a lot like this sort of thing here, right? How it's all jagged and it's just a bigger version. So I'm wondering if this is in fact the petrified lightning, which to me makes sense given how much bloody lightning's going on. So yeah, that's really cool. I really like that idea. Let's go full screen. And then we get this as well. That's an interesting thing. What happens there? You see how the, I guess the wind comes through the landscape and it blows away all of the sand? Because here it doesn't look like there's much grass at all. But then as the wind comes blowing through, it almost then reveals this sort of savanna-like grassland, and it completely changes the landscape. So I'm wondering if the biomes are gonna be sort of 2 in 1. You know what I mean? Like 1 minute it's a sandy, desolate wasteland, and then the storm comes in and then refreshes the landscape, and then you have this sort of grass-like savanna, you know? So I'm wondering if not only will the weather be dynamic, but the environment itself can also change dynamically too. So that's really cool. Also, it looks massive as well. The levels look huge. Which is like, I've heard a lot of people say that it could be open world, you know, and that would actually be pretty cool if it's open world. All right, that's nice. Realistically, though, I think they will keep to the same formula that they've had for the past 20-something years, and this will just be a bigger area for you to explore, maybe. Yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds. And you've got all of these symbols. And this is cool as well, like you got these sort of dragons sort of spiraled around each other. And I've also heard a lot of people speculating, like, is this going to be a main game in the series, or is it going to be a spin-off? It's most likely a main game in the series. First off, it's the same sort of font as Monster Hunter World. That was a mainstay in the series. This is basically just a continuation, so I'm guessing it's going to be in the new world still. Also, I've heard a bunch of people note the heads. If you don't know, in Monster Hunter, the amount of Wyvern heads that you see speaks to the number that it is in the franchise. So if you actually were to count all of these heads, there's 6 of them. So there's one at the bottom, there's one up the top, so 1, 2, and then there's a bunch on these circular things here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'll probably put an image up with them circulated so you can see what I mean, but yeah. This is definitely number 6. This is Monster Hunter 6, which is great. Cannot wait for this game. And a lot of people are also saying that it could be single player, which I bloody hope not. It better not be a single player game, I swear to God. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm open to new things and them trying different stuff, but Monster Hunter at its core has always had co-op in it, always. Even I think the Monster Hunter stories, those were even I had a friend tell me that even those were multiplayer, so it'd be very odd for them to do a single player game. But let's talk about this guy a bit. That kind of goes into why people were saying it's going to be single players, because the way this raptor looks, he has a pouch, and in this pouch you can see the stock of a bowgun. So that's led people to think, okay, is this just for aesthetics, just to make it look like he has stuff carrying around with him, or is there some actual use to it? I think there's actually going to be some use to this. So you can see he's got what looks like a puke greatsword on his back. He's got the bowgun in here. So to me that says, okay, you might be able to bring in, say, 2 weapons. And you might be able to change weapons on the fly, given you can bring 2 in, if that's the case. So you might be able to bring 2 weapons in. Now that might then mean there's no more camps. So this guy here, this raptor you're riding around, he is your camp. Like, he's like your mobile camp, and you're kind of like a nomad type of hunter. And that just opens up even more speculations, like, is there going to be a village? Or are you just going to be going through the world? Because it's called Wilds, right? So that kind of speaks to the idea that, to me anyway, that kind of says you're nomadic. And there isn't going to be a village. And you're just going to be kind of roaming through the wilds on this raptor. And so this is your village. This is your camp, maybe. So yeah, you have to basically bring everything with you. And that's why we see all these pouches. And he's got a, looks like a rolled up sleeping bag, or maybe a tent. So that's one idea as well. As to the single player thing, I hope not. Like, it could be that the reason people are speculating it's single player is because usually in Monster Hunter games you have a bunch of people that can make up for what you don't have. So if you bring in a greatsword, for example, if you bring in a greatsword, somebody else can bring in a bowgun. You know, there's synergy amongst the group, right? And so I think that's why people think it's going to be single player, because you have multiple weapons to make up for the lack of other players, maybe. I think that's why people think it's going to be single player. I don't think so. I hope not. I mean, they made bloody Dragon's Dogma 2 single player, so who knows. But, meh. But this looks so good. I mean, I cannot wait for this one. Hopefully it lands good. Yeah. Oh yes, the Spires. I wanted to talk about the Spires. I'm wondering about these. Like, they don't look natural to me at all. The Spires, that is. Like, they look kind of like ancient, like an ancient structure that's been man-made or something. Whoops. They look man-made to me, like an ancient civilization once used these to power something up. Because if you don't know, in the Monster Hunter universe, there is a lore that there once was an ancient civilization that existed and then overnight just completely vanished. And that's why you see a bunch of ruins everywhere. That's from the ancient civilization. But yeah, this is cool. I like how the 2 dragons are kind of spiraled in around each other. That's really nice. And there's like this sort of like... Oh! Wait a minute. Oh, hold on a minute. I've just noticed that just now. Ah, okay. Sorry, I was just looking at this bottom tail. You see these little bits that come out here, these little spokes. I'll try and zoom in on it if I can after, you know, post or whatever. But these little spokes that come out... Hold on a minute, I'm onto something here. So yeah, okay. I was actually just about to say, the spires that you see in the game that act as the sort of lightning conduits. I was gonna say, my theory was, but now that I've just seen that, Okay. I was going to say, these conduits reminded me of like an energy capture device where they capture lightning to power up something. So maybe there's something underground, and the ancients used these because they're getting bloody struck by lightning. But maybe the ancient used these to power something up. So maybe underneath the desert, there's some sort of ancient structure that, I don't know, either comes to life mechanically, or they're used to power something up, like an ancient piece of technology or whatever. But now that I just saw that dragon thing, I'm wondering, is those spikes, is it a part of the main body of the dragon? Now that I've seen these spires, or these little spokes, and this here, these lines, they do look like the lines that you would see on, say, a circuit board, right? That takes electrical signals. That does look like that to me. There's even one on here, look. There's one there. So, okay. I might be onto something there. That could be the spokes, the spires that you see, taking in the electricity. And so the electricity comes in and it powers something up. Okay, so I was actually sort of right before I even realized it. Nice. Okay, and then I don't know what that is. That kind of looks like a campfire to me. But the electricity must come in here and then power something up. And then who knows, it discharges on this massive circular thing, so... That's really interesting. If that's what it is, holy shit. Alright. So yeah, I cannot wait for this. This looks amazing. I absolutely adore Monster Hunter. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time. Had such a good time with it over the years. Met some really nice friends as well. Anyway, that'll be the video. I want to try to keep this one a little bit shorter than the others. I probably went a bit long-winded. I do tend to ramble on. Cannot wait to see this. Cannot wait for this game. We'll definitely be playing the hell out of this. Oh, there's Rathalos. There he is. So yeah, sorry if I rambled on a bit, but hey, you know, Monster Hunter 2025. Cannot wait for this. So thanks for watching if you did, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.